The bottle was heavy. It felt expensive. Gold cap, smooth glass, a designer gift found in a charity bin. Dawn Sturgis didn't see the invisible film on the nozzle. She didn't smell the ghost of a Soviet laboratory. She just wanted to smell like flowers. She pressed the sprayer against her wrist. The oily liquid touched her skin. Within 15 minutes, Dawn wasn't just sick. She was vibrating, foaming at the mouth. Her heart didn't just stop. It gave up, because that bottle didn't contain perfume. It contained enough military-grade nerve agent to wipe out a small city, and the men who put it there were already halfway to Moscow. Amesbury, England, June 30th, 2018. It's a quiet Saturday, the kind of day where nothing is supposed to happen. Dawn Sturgis is 44 years old, a mother, a friend, just trying to enjoy the afternoon at her parents' house. Her partner, Charlie, hands her a present. He found it in a bin near a local shop. A sealed box of Nina Ricci's Premier Jour. To anyone else, it's a lucky find. To Dawn, it's a luxury she rarely gets. She opens the box. She pulls out the glass bottle. It's elegant. She sprays it directly onto her wrists, a heavy, concentrated mist. She rubs her wrists together, working the oil into her skin. She doesn't know that she just applied a death sentence. Within minutes, the world begins to tilt. The air feels thick. Her lungs stop obeying her brain. Charlie watches in horror as Dawn begins to foam at the mouth. Her eyes roll back. This isn't a seizure. This is her nervous system being hijacked. The chemical, Novichok, is an invisible key. It turns the off switch on every muscle into her body to permanent. The paramedics arrive to a scene of pure chaos. They don't know what they're fighting. They think it's an overdose. They don't realize that the very air in the room is now a weapon. Dawn is rushed to the hospital, her brain starving for oxygen. She hangs on for 8 days, a ghost in a hospital bed, before her body finally shuts down on July 8th. She died for the crime of wanting to smell nice. But the real horror wasn't in the hospital. It was in where that bottle came from. To understand why Dawn died, we have to look back 3 months, to a park bench in Salisbury. Sergei Skripal was a marked man, a former Russian spy who turned on his country. He thought he was safe in England. He was wrong. 2 men using the names Alexander Petrov and Ruslan Bashirov flew into London. They didn't come for the sights. They carried a perfume bottle, but it wasn't filled with fragrance. It was filled with Novichok, a nerve agent developed by the Soviet Union to be undetectable and 100% lethal. They walked to Skripal's front door. They smeared the gel on the handle. They waited. Sergei and his daughter, Yulia, touched the handle. They collapsed on a park bench hours later, twitching and gray. They survived, barely, thanks to world-class medical care and a stroke of luck. The assassins panicked. They had a half-full bottle of the world's most dangerous poison in their pocket. They couldn't take it on a plane. They couldn't leave it in a hotel. So they did something unthinkable. They tossed it. They threw a weapon of mass destruction into a charity donation bin like it was a piece of literal trash. They walked away, caught on CCTV smiling, heading back to Russia to be treated like heroes. They left a ticking time bomb in a glass bottle, and they didn't care whose hand found it first. For years, the world wondered, was this a rogue mission? Was it a mistake? The Russian government laughed it off. The two suspects went on TV and claimed they were just tourists who wanted to see the famous Salisbury Cathedral spire. They looked at the camera and lied while Don Sturgis was being buried. But the silence finally broke. In December 2025, the wait for justice reached a boiling point. A landmark public inquiry in the UK finally laid the cards on the table. They didn't use soft language. They didn't call it an accident. The inquiry concluded that this attack was authorized at the highest levels of the Russian government. They named names. They pointed the finger directly at the top. The report stated that Vladimir Putin himself bears the moral responsibility for the reckless disposal of that chemical weapon. The inquiry revealed the sheer scale of the danger. That small glass bottle Don found, it contained enough Novichok to kill thousands of people. If it had leaked in a crowded mall or a school, the body bags would have filled the streets. Dawn Sturgis wasn't a spy. She wasn't a politician. She was a mother who liked perfume, and she became the only fatality in a shadow war she didn't even know was happening. The suspects, Petrov and Bashirov, are still in Russia. They are safe. They are protected. They will likely never see the inside of a courtroom. We like to think that we are safe in our own neighborhoods. We think the things we find, the things we touch, are just objects. But Don Sturgis proves that we are all just one lucky find away from a nightmare. A perfume bottle wasn't a gift. It was a discarded bullet. It sat in a bin for months, waiting for a hand to pick it up. It makes you look at the world differently. It makes you wonder what else has been left behind in the cracks of our normal lives. The inquiry is over. The blame has been assigned. But the bottle is a reminder that some people view human life as nothing more than acceptable collateral damage. Tell me in the comments, does naming the responsibility bring any peace? Or is justice meaningless if the killers are out of reach? Hit like if this story gave you a chill. I'll see you in the next shadow. Stay safe. Thank you for watching.